Hello, Hong. Please say something to Chess. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ray. I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. We're here tonight broadcasting from Gold Forest. Have work to do here. Thank you all for joining us. We're back to the Chanti instructions schedule from Master YongHua. We're currently on slide 174. He's been talking about three refuges. I don't know why. Probably at the time they had a three refuges ceremony. So he talked about the concept of taking refuge with the triple jewel, to take refuge with the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. That's the meaning. I personally came from a Western educated background, so I never took the taking refuge thing seriously from a Chinese. But it's a good thing to do. So after explaining that, he now goes to the next section. Let's continue, please.
那么你们现在的皈依啊，住持参谋，那么还有自性参谋。
Now you take refuge in, as well as protect and support the triple jewels. There is also self-nature triple jewels.
一常住佛，你自性也有佛，也要皈依你自性。
When you take refuge in the permanent dwelling Buddha, because your self-nature also has a Buddha, you should also take refuge in the self-nature Buddha.
皈依常住十方法，也要皈依你自性的这个法。
When you take refuge in the permanently dwelling Dharma, you should also take refuge in your self-nature Dharma.
皈依常住十方僧，也要皈依你自性的僧。
When you take refuge in the permanently dwelling Sangha, you should also take refuge in your self-nature Sangha.
那么三宝和你自性是没有分别。
There is no difference between the triple jewel and your self-nature.
但是你以前没有皈依之前，就好像在那黑暗的房子里见不着光。
But in the past, before you took refuge, it was like in a dark space. You could not see any light.
现在你皈依三宝之后，这好像得到太阳光了，光明了，黑暗退。
After you took refuge in the triple jewels, it was like you received the sunlight. Its brightness breaks the darkness.
所以你们现在皈依之后，不要有贪心，不要有嗔心，不要有痴心。
So after you take refuge, do not keep the greedy mind, do not keep the angry mind, do not keep the stupid mind.
不要有慢心，不要有疑心。
Do not keep the arrogant mind, do not keep the doubtful mind.
能以把这个贪嗔痴慢移去了，然后您再能受五戒，受持五戒，这是一个正确的样。
You should rid greed, anger, stupidity, arrogance, and doubt. Then you can take the 5 precepts. To uphold the 5 precepts is...
Okay, let's stop here. Where am I? Okay, let's go back to what he's talking about. Okay, slide 174. Now he's talking about the advanced concepts about taking refuge. He says taking refuge here with the triple jewel is also means to protect and support the triple jewel. It sounds like self-serving, doesn't it? For us Americans, People who don't have a lot of exposure to Buddhism in our education and our conditioning. It sounds like we are asking for protection and support, a triple jewel, which reinforces the image that we monks and nuns are parasites. Okay, what do you think? I think monks, nuns prefer not to talk about this. I think you should bring it out open once for all. It says, according to Master YongHua's words of wisdom, to take refuge in triple jewel. Take refuge meaning you depend on the triple jewel, really rely on the triple jewel. You take advantage of the triple jewel. But also it says, actually, it's also to protect and support triple jewel. Why is that? He's saying this at the risk of appearing to be self-serving. You see, this is where monks and nuns like us prefer not to talk about this. You know, like now you're my disciple. You have to come and protect me and support me. We didn't tell you about it, right? We call it taking refuge, meaning you can depend on us and you can lean on us, but actually you have to come and protect me and support me. Your master. Yes, Wei Mao. I see controversy everywhere in the way the Chinese teaches, things. I'm sorry, I'm so skeptical. Yes, paleface.
Thank you, Master. As a Sicilian American, we have a long, rich history of putting a value on protection. So I have absolutely no problem with the way that Great Master YongHua is presenting it.
You're so biased. It is so sad. You're becoming like brainwashed already, which is sad for a truly blooded American. Seriously, I object to this. My first reaction when I read this, are they going to ask me or not? But since morality is now being tamed, I say, I'm going to be happy here. Okay, so he's not going to ask anymore. So, and then people are busy. There are better things to do than tune in on Monday night, huh? Don't you have anything else to do? There's Monday night football. Don't you know that? Never mind. Okay. Yeah. Seriously, this process here, to me, has a flaw, and I don't expect the Asian, especially his Chinese disciples, to ask this. Okay, so that's why I have to ask you: is there a contradiction? It's so cool of a teaching. On the surface, it's contradiction. Yes, it sounds like a sales pitch. It sounds like brainwashing, doesn't it? Now you're my disciple. Come support me. Come and protect me. Anyone? Why would you want to come and protect and support a triple jewel now that you are a Buddhist disciple? Have you thought about it? Yes, Wei Mao.
I think the Americans are kind of stupid and don't really know what to do.
No.
So,
No, sir.
Master YongHua,
I have to object to that right away. You cannot call Americans stupid. I call the Jews very smart. For a small number of people, they are very, very smart.
Respectfully, I think Americans are very self-serving and need to be told what to do. So that's probably why Master YongHua told them that.
Okay, are you Jewish? Are your parents Jewish?
Maybe like way down the line, probably like 5% Jewish.
5% Jew. I see.
Because I'm Mexican, so.
Well, a lot of Mexicans, blooded Mexican, are actually from Europe. Yeah, you look like you're more European than indigenous. Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, why does unfortunately have to come in? It is what it is. Okay, it's not unfortunate. It's not fortunate either. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master. I feel it's like when you're saving up to buy something, so when you finally are able to buy it, then you take care of that because it's precious for you.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, you protect and support your daughter because someday, down the road, she's gonna protect and support you. Cause and effect. Make sense? Yeah, that's what parents do, especially mothers. Make sure hang on to your children. When you get divorced, okay, hang on to the house and the children. Remember that. Yes, 6.
Just a comment on that. I'm glad that we don't have a board of directors or investor pressure, so there's freedom of speech for Master. You can comment as you like.
Okay.
And then I think so. Here, Master YongHua mentioned protect and support. I think it's a way for us to plant blessings with the triple jewel.
Okay. Plant blessings. Yes, in the back. 1.
Thank you, Master. Taking refuge in is a way to show our belief and faith in the triple jewel. So the reason we want to protect and support is also a way to not only rely on triple jewel to protect us, but also a way to protect our own faith.
Okay, very good. All the reason above. I'd like to point out one more thing for your consideration. I don't think the Chinese emphasize this enough. Okay? The concept here is that everyone can come and lean on the triple jewel. Not just white faces, pale faces, yellow faces, and so forth. Okay? Everyone is entitled to do that. There's no discrimination whatsoever. Absolutely not. Okay? So, and that pertains to the fact that when we open the temple, we don't say, I'm going to open the temple and serve only the Chinese, only the Sri Lankans. Is that clear? We never, for us, we don't ever open and say, okay, I'm going to serve only these people, this exclusive club. This is meaning that anyone will take refuge and will come and take advantage of us. Is that clear? There's no discrimination whatsoever. This is what we're supposed to do. Yes, on the surface, we are like parasites because we are not doing anything. Actually, we're here for you to come and get some help when needed. Okay? We don't advertise it. We don't say, hey, the Japanese, the young Japanese monks nowadays, they go or they imitate the Catholic system, or they go and get a degree in counseling, psychology, and therapy, and so forth. And then they hang on a sign. It says, free counseling. Come in, make an appointment. And you go into the appointment room. There's a degree in the back wall there. It says University of so-and-so. Masters in counseling or PhD in psychology. Okay? And this is what they do. And we don't do that. Okay? We quietly say, I'm here because I'm supposed to help you. And if you feel a need for, come and take refuge and take advantage of us. And words of mouth will spread. That's how it works. Okay? Now, Why would you want to come to protect and support Triple Jewel? Now that you understand, now you're Buddhist. Why would you want to do that? It's because if you protect and support the Triple Jewels, then we can help more people. It's that simple. Okay? This is it. We can help so many people here. You come and support the Triple Jewel, then we get to buy a nicer car and drive further and help more people. Does it make sense? It's so logical. I don't understand why you missed that point. Got that? Okay, so it's beautiful because he says, I want you, when you become a Buddhist, this is the underlying lesson. I want you, after you become a Buddhist, to open your heart, because you can take advantage of this, okay? Come and help and protect us and support us so that more people can also take advantage of it. Is that clear? We don't explain it. The Westerners, or you who are not grown up in our strong Buddhist, Asian Buddhist tradition, will laugh at us and say, oh, there you go, you're being a parasite again. And the young monks and nuns don't understand it either. There's a sense of responsibility here. There's a sense of pride. We have this tradition that was set up 3,000 years ago by the Buddha himself. Very proud tradition we have. And it worked. And it worked so well over the years. All right? There is also the self-nature Triple Jewel. He says it's not just the thing you see outside, the statues, the images, the sutras, the people who wear funny clothes and so forth, talk funny, okay? Walk funny, have no hair. It's also your self-nature Triple Jewel. And he explains, okay? When you take refuge in a permanently dwelling Buddha, okay? Because your self-nature also has a Buddha, and therefore you should take refuge in self-nature Buddha. That's what he says, and no one asks anything, so we move on. I do the same thing so that you don't ask difficult questions. Oh, green things, wow, look at that. You guys have all sorts of technology here. When you take refuge in a permanently dwelling Dharma, you also take refuge in self-nature Dharma, okay? You take refuge in permanently dwelling Sangha, you also take refuge in self-nature Sangha. What is he talking about? There's no difference between Triple Jewel and your self-nature, okay? Go back to this concept of permanently dwelling. It doesn't bother you, the name, the word? Okay, luckily for you, we have Sangwok Sunim who graduated from the Korean Joge Order Training School. She'll explain it for you. There you go. Never a dull moment with us. Look at that. Yeah? Sangwok Sunim, give her a microphone. What have you learned? What is this permanently dwelling Triple Jewel, Sangha, Buddha, Dharma, and so forth? Huh? What is it?
They are everywhere.
How eloquent of a response. What is he doing in Jeju Island? They have a question, you mean? They want to make a comment? Oh, yeah, okay. The technology is not there in Jeju Island. Okay. Newbie, go ahead.
Master, what's the meaning of self-nature Buddha?
I'm coming to that. Okay, anyone? You see, this is what's so cool about us in a way. Because I allow you to ask all sorts of questions, and when you don't, I ask them for you. You're supposed to ask these questions. What is self-nature Buddha? What are you talking about? You drove all the way up here to talk about self-nature Buddha. Would you mind telling me what it is? Does it make sense? You're entitled to ask questions. Don't be like Murali now, who is content. I'm so happy. Good Lord. Okay, let me explain the concept. First of all, permanently dwelling. What is it telling you? It's always there. Whether you take refuge with it or not, whether you support or protect it or not, it's still there. Isn't that wonderful? It's always there. When this world comes to an end, it's still there. And the world emerges again, it's still there. Whether you see it or not. Whether you believe it or not. Whether you take refuge with it or not, it's still there. Permanently. Forever and ever and ever. Name anything you think of that's permanently dwelling. It's such a powerful concept. I'm afraid that the Chinese teachers fail to explain it for us. Skeptics. We are skeptics here in the West. Skeptics in the 21st century. Yeah? Skeptics? Yes, Wei Mountain.
Is karma permanently dwelling?
We talk about triple jewel, not karma. Karma can be erased, but you cannot erase permanently dwelling triple jewel. Okay? That's a very important concept, very powerful statement. It's permanently dwelling. I don't know why the Chinese kept on glossing over it, never stress it for our sakes. See, even Xienan is impressed. She's been with a Xian for so many years, and she still does not understand the concept of permanent dwelling. And now she said, wow, I'm so cool. I'm part of it. Isn't that cool? You're all part of it. Yeah. To be worthy of it. Okay? That's why I call you worthy. Be worthy of it. You're not worthy, I unworthy you. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master. Something for me that's permanently dwelling is my faith in my good-knowing advisor.
Permanently dwelling until you die, yeah. Thank you, though. I know. He looks so sincere, you know. So, I mean it. Doesn't it show? Look at this face, you know. Look, see what I mean? You should take a photo and make a you know, an icon out of it. This is the face of pure faith, man. Okay, so whether you believe it or not, whether you know it or not, the triple jewel is permanently dwelling. It's a statement of fact from the sages, from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. That's why they have to tell us. We don't know, so they have to tell us. When you believe in, you become a Buddhist, you are taking refuge with all this triple jewel everywhere in the universe, and it's always there. Meaning what? That stamp there is a very powerful membership for you. You don't have to pay. You don't have to fly and accrue the mileage to remain a member. You just bring forth the faith and become a member. You have a stamp. It says, now, all the triple jewel throughout the Dharma realm, throughout the universe, knows about you. You're a member. And we keep an eye on you. Even if you don't believe it, it's okay. We still keep an eye on you. Okay? Meaning you can always count on us. Not me. Us meaning, I'm just, it's just not even a grain of sand. It's just all these wonderful, incredible sages that you can count on. Yes, Wei Mountain.
I'm sorry, Master. I couldn't get out of my head. I couldn't get out of my head when you were saying permanently dwelling. It sounds like limitless, and then in the Avatamsaka Sutra, Universal Worthy says that the karma of living beings will never be eradicated. It's just. Sorry, that thought won't go out of my head. So what's the difference between like permanently dwelling and limitless limitless karma? Because they both kind of have the same concept of like infinity, you know?
No, they're different things. We're discussing different things. Don't try to lump them together. It's okay. Okay. Whatever you think you remember from that teaching that karmas are limitless and so forth, it's not permanently dwelling. It's a different concept, okay? Don't confuse them. They're two different things. Permanently dwelling is that will never extinguish, will never go away. Limitless karmas are different. Limitless meaning that more and more and more, but it doesn't mean that it's the same thing. Okay? All right. Anyone else? Okay? So it's very important. You take refuge in permanently dwelling triple jewel. Okay? And he says that permanently dwelling triple jewel it's just your self-nature. That's the proof. As long as there's something called the self-nature, your Buddha nature, then that's the permanently dwelling triple jewel. Okay? Don't have to understand. This is something you say, okay, that's what he says, so it is so for me. Until you see it yourself. All right? That's Buddhist teachings. Things will not always make sense to you. And you, as a smart, intelligent person, rational person, you're always entitled to ask questions. But there will come a certain point where you need to have to stop and say, okay, I don't get it, but since this came from a Master YongHua, okay? Then I believe it. That's good enough for me right now. But in the future, okay, I will see it for myself. Because when they said these things to us, it's called what? This is very important, folks. This is what it's called. When they tell you about things that you don't understand, why would they tell you? Is that for the sake of confusing you, to impress you, or what? Sell you some subscription services, memberships? Getting more support, protection? No. What is it called? Huh? Says.
Planting seeds.
It's called literary prajna. It's prajna. It's your wisdom that you will unfold down the road. Don't reject it. And I need to emphasize this for you. Just because you don't understand, don't reject it, please. Don't make that mistake. Okay? That's why it's very important. In Mahayana, we have people, like real patriarchs, who would never pull your legs. Never. They said, I'm a patriarch. Yes, my master, my predecessor certified me a patriarch, therefore I'm here. Take a shot at me, kill me, poison me, whatever. Okay? But what I'm going to tell you is the truth. Okay? And you believe it. It's your personal wisdom. Is that clear? All right? So, never mind about the other patriarch. Please. Okay? But this patriarch here, Master YongHua here, that's why we're studying him. Okay? We spend so much time studying him because whatever he says is prajna, wisdom for us. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master. When we take precept in this lifetime, can we carry them into our next life, perhaps in the Pure Land?
I'm sorry?
When we take a precept in this lifetime, can we carry them into our next life, perhaps in the Pure Land?
Can we what? I cannot I didn't.
Can we
have some competition here.
No problem. Can we carry them into our next life, perhaps in precept?
Carry what?
Precept. Into
Carry the precepts the next lifetime?
Yeah, in Pure Land, perhaps.
No, each world is different. Okay, so when you're born, you start over again. We start from square one. Okay, and you don't carry over. You only carry over the blessings. But the actual specifics, you need to start over again. It's called conditions. Conditions are different. Conditions in the Haha world are different from conditions in the Pure Land. Okay? All right. Okay. So there's no difference at all between triple jewel and your self-nature. Meaning if you come and protect and support triple jewel, what are you doing? You're helping supporting yourself ultimately. Okay? What is the self-nature thing? That's the next question. Next topic. Okay? What is self-nature Buddha? What is self-nature Dharma? This is what is self-nature Sangha. Okay? Self-nature, yes, Wei Mountain.
You said when you support the triple jewel, you're just supporting yourself. Does that go the other way? When you cultivate your self-nature, does that support the triple jewel?
Yeah. Yeah, but the results are it's the same, but the results are different. Okay. All right. So, what is this self-nature thing here? This self-nature thing here refers to your Buddha nature. In Buddhism, this is a jargon. When you say self-nature, it means Buddha nature. Okay? Buddha nature. And so this self-nature thing here, when you become enlightened, this is what the Chan school says, calls it see the nature and become a Buddha. So that's what it is seeing the nature, 见性成佛 in Chinese. See the nature and become a Buddha. It refers to seeing the self-nature here. At that moment when you see your nature, your self-nature, that's when you become enlightened. It's the only way you can see your self-nature. All right? So the reason you ask is because you haven't seen your self-nature yet. Right? So this self-nature, self-nature meaning your Buddha nature, has everything. Everything is contained within the self-nature. All right? And so the self-nature is this thing here. Then you can describe it as a triple jewel, you can describe it as a demon, you can describe it as the gods, you can describe it as you. That's part of your self-nature. That's why ultimately we're not different, because we look different right now. Some of us are pale-faced, some of us are yellow-faced, black-faced, and so forth. But that's different facets of the self-nature, that's all. All right? So it's an intellectual concept that you need to think bigger than yourself, and you need to think that you are part of this big organism here, that humongous, that contains everything. Okay? And when you practice Buddhism, you'll be able to see it clearer and clearer and clearer as you improve. As you get higher and higher and higher, you see more and more. Okay? So at low level, when the first time you see your self-nature, you have a glimpse, maybe a split second, and that's good enough. At that moment there, you're changed forever. Now, the changes are wonderful. It may take longer for some people to realize it, but it's interesting, much more fun, much more rewarding. Okay? That's why we're doing this. But if you stay there, and then the longer you stay there, the more you see. And you go up at another level, and then you see more of that. And more. And more. Yes, Wei Mao.
Sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions today. Today, I was saying mantra in my head, and I was at a restaurant, and I went to the bathroom, and so I stopped saying the mantra, and then I was looking at the toilet, and I was thinking, I said, man, why am I saying the toilet is different than me? Like, because it's part of the self-nature. So why I stopped saying the mantra? And it's really weird. So can you sorry, it was really weird. But the idea of why am I looking at like a bathroom as bad or something was in my head. Was that? Does that make sense, or is that like not something to do?
Of course, it makes sense. Absolutely, it makes sense to you. That's the main thing. Why are you doing? Why do you see your toilet is different from you? I don't get it.
Yeah, it was really weird, Master.
I don't see it as weird. Anyone sees it weird that he's different from the crap he's shooting out? Can we just spit it out and stop beating around the bush? He's no different from his crap.
Yeah, it was a weird. It was an interesting experience.
That is, my friend, that is profound wisdom. Very simple. Okay? If you're still thinking about it, then you haven't seen the nature yet. When you see nature, then you realize, hey, I'm crap. So perfect. People call me, you are crap, you are a scam, you are whatever. They're right. Okay? You processing. You're still moving your eyes too much.
Thanks for pointing out that I'm crap. Appreciate that.
No, I'm pointing out to you your thought process. It's not incorrect. That's all I'm saying. Okay? It's when you understand, when you see your nature, then you have, you see, fundamentally I'm crap. Okay? So that's when you begin to take yourself a lot less seriously. Okay, yeah. All right, anyone else? Okay, so, yes, Wei Mao. I'm always bringing out controversial topics, and there's no end to all these questions. Yes, paleface.
Thank you, Master. Andres, I really appreciate your question. And Master, thank you for discussing it. Having had similar thoughts in the past, I realized at one point I was full of crap, and then afterwards, I'm no longer full of crap. And that's helped me let go.
Let him have it. You spoke too soon, my boy. Okay, 6. Go ahead.
I think, Master, you were reading my mind, because I was going to say to Peter, are you sure? Sorry.
Go ahead. Defend yourself. Okay. All right. So he says here, so that this so far begs another question. Not from your perspective, from my perspective, because most people don't think of this, but because they try to avoid controversy. I seek controversy. I hope Donald goes to hell. Anyway, just my personal opinion, okay? Doesn't mean you have to agree with it. Now, I'm kidding, of course. It's all empty. Doesn't matter. He's full of crap. So are we. Don't judge him. I don't sound very convincing, do I? Yes, 6.
Sorry, Master, I don't think I was clear. I was joking, and I was also just thinking that I had the similar thoughts, and I still think I'm crap. So that's why I'm sharing with my Dharma friend, Peter.
Okay, you're full of crap too, yeah. We're all full of crap. Peter's crap. I mean, and Andres. Okay, we're all crappy people. Okay. When you take refuge with the Hinayana monks and nuns, they don't talk to you about taking refuge with a permanently dwelling Super Jewel, permanently dwelling Buddha of your nature. Do they? No, they don't. Yes, I've never been to one, but I know they don't. Wei Mountain, I believe they don't.
Emitofuo Master, I think on the same lines, I think coming from India with a lot of Theravada background, they always say there is no self. So I think this idea of like there is a self nature, it kind of always bothers me, like two different diametrically opposite perspective within Buddhism.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No,
which
it's
one
not.
to take on?
It's not. It's not. You see, this poor Murali is so confused in India. I'm glad you're here. We will undo all these knots that they made in you. Don't worry. Give it time. Okay. You see, but it's interesting because it's not just for him. It's for many people. They ask us. My teacher says there's no such a thing as a Buddha. As a Bodhisattva. There's no such a thing as the self-nature thing. It's a demon's teaching. It's a superstition. It's nonsense. Okay, coming from the mouths of the monks and the nuns too, but primarily monks, because in Theravada tradition, they don't. The nuns don't have a lot of weight. Yes, Wei Mao. Nuns are inferior.
Master, I gotta repent for taking the beads into the bathroom by accident during the fochi, the beads.
Yeah.
And then I got a question about the mantras. Are you not supposed to recite mantras in the bathroom, like the Dazito mantra?
You can recite in a restroom, but don't recite loudly. That's what we're taught.
Yeah, I mean to myself. I'll recite to myself.
Yeah, recite mentally, silently. Okay? Because it's just think about this. You're reciting loudly in your stall. And a Catholic walks in innocently, or a Theravada monk walks in inadvertently. Can you imagine what's going to do to him? He probably will be so shocked. Okay? That's why. That's one of the reasons. We don't want to hurt them. All right. Shock them too much. So why is that? Yes, Wei Mao. We never get out of this.
네, 마스터. 내일 오전에 그 단식 11일 끝나는데 어떻게 하면 좋을지 여쭤봅니다.
Master, I'd like to ask your opinion. Tomorrow morning, I will be finishing my 11th day of fasting. What should I do, Master?
What should she do next? You all know.
여러분 다 알죠?
You all have the answer. Okay?
여러분 다 답이 있죠?
What should she do next? You see, everyone's laughing. Eat! Drink! Have a good time! Celebrate! Gain some weight. Okay? Enjoy. Good job. 11 days. Not bad. Yeah. She looks better too. I think she looks too good. Maybe you should fast some more. I don't like it when after the fast I feel so good. No, you should feel so miserable and you should hate it. That's fasting. I will never do it again. Ask Xian Tong, for example, he said, I never fast again. Yeah, that's right. Okay? You still have time, don't worry. Enjoy yourself, huh? Okay? Very good. Okay, so we tell, if these people, these monks and nuns say, there's no such a thing as Dharma nature, and so forth. It's okay. They are teaching you what they believe. It's perfectly okay. If you have Mahayana blessings, it will fall on deaf ears. You don't have Mahayana blessings and you say, okay, yeah, you're right, Master, I will not go there. It's perfectly okay. And this is why we're doing this. We're doing this because for the people to come and plant the blessings in pulling out some weeds in the yard out there, they plant blessings in Mahayana, and that's going to help them in the future to be exposed to the broader Buddhist wisdom. Without this, they will only be confined to their own small domain of Buddhist teachings. Okay? Same thing. It's not just the Theravadins or Hinayana also talking about the Catholics or the Mormons or the Jews and so forth. We somehow find a way to bring them in and help them, hey, here, I tell you what, you look like you're so thin. I tell you what, here's $5. Go buy some tacos to eat. Okay? Gain some weight, okay? And so forth. It's okay. All those experiences to help them plant blessings. Okay? And so, but the point here is, as far as a question to Morales, answer to Morales' question, is that, of course, they truly believe there's no such a thing as nature and so forth, because they were not taught that practical wisdom. Okay? And it's up to you, your teachers. Very much like when you go here in the US, we have a junior college system where they're everywhere, especially in California, there are junior colleges everywhere. And you can go there for 2 years and you learn all sorts of good things. Okay? But these teachers, whatever they teach you, it's just a subset of what's more to follow if you continue with your education. That's a similar thing. Hinayana, they will tell you what they know, what they believe. It's perfectly okay. But remember, and this is where it's important for us, okay, to be around, because they're Hinayana. I don't care what, they're going to be offended or not, okay? The Hinayana, we are not. We are Mahayana. And that's important to state, even though people will take pot shots at us and criticize us, let air out our tires and so forth. That's the price you have to pay, okay, for the work. But so that some of you eventually will be able to say, okay, I don't believe it, but it's there. They're everywhere. There's so many videos, there's many things there. Let me take a look. I have nothing else to do. Okay? And that's okay too. And that's what it takes. It's so morally, you cannot compare a junior college professor teachings with let's say, professor from Oxford. Okay? It's totally different. It's not the same caliber of teachers, same caliber of students. And the reason is that you're still here, he's still here, is because you are a Mahayana caliber kind of person. You have Mahayana blessings. This is what it's about. All right? So embrace it. We embrace it. When very much like when the state of California allotted a lot of money to open a lot of these junior colleges, they know that some of them will be faced with a wall and will be go to a dead end. But it's still seats for the future consideration. We expect it. All right? Okay. So the Hinayana people, they do these things. They take a refuge, they give you a refuge ceremony, and the last thing they would bring up is a self-nature thing and permanently dwelling Buddha, permanently dwelling Dharma, and so forth. Okay? Because they don't know. That's all. And not uncommon for many of them to badmouth us as if this is demons teaching and so forth. That's okay too. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's still permanently dwelling. Okay? And so, the question I wanted to ask you is, when these Theravadan teachers, Hinayana teachers, I heard many of them, bad mouth, Mahayana, ferociously, adamantly, and they get turned around and give you a 3 refuge and say, now you are my disciple, and so forth. Okay? Are you then still a member of the permanently dwelling triple jewel family? Of course you are. Whether you're aware of it or not, whether you believe in it or not. Okay? So, therein lies Buddhism. So it doesn't matter that you understand or not. We still do these things that are beneficial to you. We allow the Hinayana people to transmit the 3 refuges to you. But in doing so, we are not explaining to them yet that when you do that ceremony, okay, you also are taking refuge with the permanently dwelling triple jewel. Whether we tell you or not, it still is the case. And that's the nature of Buddhism. We benefit you without talking about it. It's called expedience. Hinayana teachers are expedience for us. We let them do these things. We encourage them to do these things because they're beneficial. They're good for you, good for all of us. All right? So there's a lot more going on than you realize. All right. So self-permanent dwelling Sangha, self-permanent Sangha, and so forth. There's no difference. Okay? Now, next he says, okay, so triple jewel is no different in self-nature. Okay? That's why we spend almost an hour talking about it. In the past, before you took refuge, it was like a dark space. You could not see any light. Okay? So in the dark, you were in the dark before you took refuge. This is his analogy. After you took refuge, you receive the sunlight, and the brightness breaks the darkness. Okay? And so what he's alluding to here is it's a very subtle thing. When you bow and you say, I will take refuge with the triple jewel, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, okay? That simple act there, okay, is the mechanism that enables the light to shine upon you. You have to do it before it happens. Is it clear? This is a very important concept. You have to allow it. You have to allow the light to shine upon you. On the other hand, you say, no, I don't believe in you. No, leave me alone. We'll leave you alone. That's the difference. It's in your heart. You believe it, it shines upon you. You don't believe it, he has better things to do than fool around with you. Sounds good? So you monks and nuns, okay? Don't worry. Don't ask people to come and protect and support you. We have, it's okay. All right? So, 181. And after you take refuge, he says, you are a different person. It's like all these words actually are very profound. They're very simple, but actually they're very profound. It says, you now are special. That kind of thing. Which one do you want? Special or you want moi? It depends, okay? But this is you special. Therefore, keep this in mind. Be less greedy, be less angry, be less stupid. You are a different class now. Have more self-respect. It's so important. Don't ask others to support you and respect you. You have to respect yourself first. Okay? Don't be so petty. Okay? Worry about yourself. You're Buddhist. You're a monk. You're a nun. Are you less greedy? Are you less angry? Are you less stupid? Because you're not supposed to be like that. Applies to all of us who call ourselves Buddhists. A lay person, left-home person, same thing. It's introspection. Look at yourself. Don't look at your neighbor. Don't look at Jung. Okay? Leave him alone. See, he sits on the edge already. He says, just leave me alone, man. Okay? Look at yourself. Am I? What is the level of my 3 poisons? Okay? Continues. Do not be arrogant. Do not have doubt. Okay? Don't be so arrogant. Okay? This is a big problem here. Yes, number 1 here. Yeah.
Thank you, Master. Just want to check with a Chinese Chinese person here. The translation of "do not keep the arrogant mind," 不要有慢心. That character of man maybe needs to change. It's different. 傲慢的慢.
Yeah.
So do we need to? Is it correct? Chinese characters, or maybe we need to change it.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Master.
Yeah. The translation is kind of Jinglish, Chinese English. It's arrogant mind is so Chinese. The Chinese talk mind. In English, it says just be less arrogant. Can you be less arrogant? Because we know you're arrogant. You're so special. It's like, wow. Because this is an affirmation. You're so special. Okay? So be less arrogant. You see the timing? Then he walks into, be less arrogant. Okay? Be less arrogant. Harbor no doubt. This is what he's talking about. If you want to fix the English, this is how I would fix it, but this is very important. This is very subtle, but this is exactly what he means. He says, I talked to you about the 3 poisons. He has no 3 poisons. That's why he doesn't have to listen to it. But the next 2 things here is very important for him. Arrogance and doubt. Yeah, cool. Okay, okay. And so, watch out. Now you're part of this special group, the special community called Buddhist community. Please don't be arrogant. Be less and less arrogant. It's so important. Okay? And you learn more and more about your arrogance. Trust me. You're arrogant in so many ways that you are not even aware of. So what he says is very profound. Be less arrogant. Okay? And do not doubt. Do not harbor doubts. And if you're a little bit better, do not Some people are having fun. You're having fun. Why can't he? Huh? Stop complaining. These are greed, anger, stupidity. He's talking about 5 things, right? Greed, anger, stupidity. That's a basis. This is what we keep on working on. Okay. Our desire realm, residence, we're going to be greedy, going to be angry, going to be stupid. That's where we are. Okay? Look around you. They're all like that. So are you. Okay? I'm like that too. I'm no exempt. Okay? You're all like that. But this arrogance and the doubt here are extremely harmful to your wisdom life. You want wisdom, you don't want to be arrogant. You want to keep the distance from arrogance. Okay? You want to keep the distance yourself from doubt, unlike him. You know, the guy who just walked in, we will not mention names. Here on my left. Don't zoom in. You can't zoom in anyway, he's lucky. Okay? Usually our camera operator would okay? It's the arrogance and the doubt will bring you a lot of grief. A lot of grief. Okay? Let's talk about it. Okay? Arrogant. Okay? Don't think you're better. Absolutely not. Please don't. You monks and nuns, I am very patient with you. I know you're very arrogant, that's why you're here, okay? But it will come a point in time when you think you're better than me. That's time to unworthy you. Discard. Okay? Meaning that it's time for you to move on to a better teacher. Okay? It's time for you to move on. If you can't even see that around you, the people who are far better than you, you have no reason to be that arrogant. Just because you're yellow skin or you're pale-faced doesn't mean you're better, you know? All right, so be careful about that, this arrogant thing here. will bring you a lot of grief. And doubt here is also very subtle in all of you. Because people are scamming us constantly. Even monks and nuns are scamming you. Even I am scamming you. Let's face it. But there are things that will not scam you. Well, of course. So because of that, people have a lot of doubts about Triple Jewel in particular. It's okay to doubt each other. That's normal, okay? Because we're confused, we're stupid. But if you doubt the Triple Jewel, you doubt your good no advisor, oh boy, are you in trouble? Okay, so these are the 5 things. They're called, they will prevent you from opening your wisdom. So Master YongHua is very kind. He says, for you students back then, watch out for these 5 things that will impede your spiritual path. Okay? So you should be grateful to him. We should be grateful that you have this opportunity because you read so much about Buddhism. You heard so many teachings. Okay? You can speak volumes about Buddhism. You can recite this, recite that mantra and this mantra and that mantra. But if you harbor these 5 things here, greed, anger, stupidity, arrogance, and doubt, you cannot develop real wisdom at all. It's your choice. So if you don't understand, should you doubt? I'm sharing with you my own experience. I didn't understand a lot of Master YongHua's teachings. I was even more confused by what I thought I understood versus what I saw in my peers who've been with him for 30 years, 20 years, 30 years, who recognize that he recognized them as patriarch, as senior seated, so forth and so forth. Okay? So I saw the conflict there. Because after all, if his teachings are true, then why aren't his students living up to it? And so naturally, I should doubt the teaching, shouldn't I? But I never doubted his teaching. I said, I don't understand why he said that. I don't see in the way that these people behave themselves, live their lives. There's a serious conflict here. I don't approve, I don't agree, but guess what? I said, he's a sage. I don't get it. Let me shelve it for now. The teaching is so wide, so broad. There's plenty for me to try to practice. I don't need to understand everything. But that's how you avoid harboring doubts. It's not necessary. Does it help? I know you're smart. I know you're logical. Therefore, it's natural for you to doubt. My nuns doubt me. I know that. They say, Master, he's too old. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I know that. You don't have to tell me. Look in your eyes already. Okay. these 5 things. Watch out. Okay? So it's a gift from him. Okay? And then after you do that, then you can take the 5 precepts. He's kind. To me, he's kind of rambling on. He says, back then, it's these newly anointed Buddhists didn't know what he's talking about. But I think he was in a good mood, and he liked some of them. That's why he went into this. Usually, you don't talk about this for the refugees and so forth. Okay? Questions and comments? Are we happy? Are we cool? Are we good? Mr. Arrogant, Mr. Doubt? Okay, continue, please. You have 15 more minutes. Yes, Wei Mao.
Emitofuo Master, just a curiosity, like I know this subject is really faith-based in some sense. I want to understand how you believe, like, do you see something like at a subatomic level, some kind of a field of energy that is the true nature or the Buddha nature? How do you imagine that in your mind, something that pervades everywhere? Or you don't go in that direction at all?
Let me rephrase it for you. Here's my problem. Deep down, my problem is this. If he talked about a Buddhist disciple should have no greed, anger, stupidity, arrogance, and doubt, he says, you are Buddhist, my disciple now. Okay, you should not have that. And then, on the other hand, I see his senior monks and nuns. They have this one thing here called arrogance. I'm entitled to be arrogant because I'm stupid, okay? But if you practice his Dharma for 20, 30 years, you're still arrogant, that I have a problem. Is that for real? Will I be like that? So whatever he teaches, this is a problem, a huge problem, folks. For me personally, I said, so this teaching about non-arrogant and this, and service and so forth, but I see the end result is not that. So how on earth would I be willing to walk that path? Should I follow the instructions? I cannot even ask him or them. I ask them, they can't answer me. Okay? He's dead. I can't ask him. He chose to leave me. I'm very proud. I said, you shaved my head and then you died. Now I'm supposed to beg you to come back and help me? You see my problem? I have a serious, huge problem. So that's a bigger issue than you think, because I've lived that, went through that process where I said, my God, this is such a beautiful teaching. No arrogance, no doubt, and so forth. And he showed us the way, this is how you meditate, this is what you're supposed to do, and so forth. Okay? And this produces these outstanding monks and nuns. They are superior monks and nuns. But I look at them and say, but you still are arrogant. I don't want to be like you. You're not good enough to be arrogant towards me. So is this process good enough for me? See my problem? Should I walk the path or not? Or should I go find something else? And I have nowhere to turn. I have no one to ask. Okay? Because ultimately, the results speak for itself. And he says, I train my students. I bring Mahayana to this country here, okay, to benefit you, and I see the end result of that benefit. I don't like it. Therefore, I'm arrogant, but the biggest problem I have is doubt. I don't think that's good enough. Because the end result is not good enough for me. Okay? So that's why now instead of calling them hung, whatever, I call them xian, because are you worthy of the teaching? You're not worthy, I unxian you. That's a promise. Okay? Does that answer your question? So I have serious doubts. So I said, but I doubt these people. But I don't doubt the teaching. That's my saving grace. Okay? I'm entitled to doubt them because you don't know what you're talking about. Because they kept on telling me things I disagreed with them. I said, what you told me about Chan is not what Master YongHua taught. It's not what I understood from reading it. Okay? So I'm lucky in the sense I spent 4 years watching them, listening to their spiel. I said, you don't get it. You still don't get it. Okay? I'm lucky. So that's why I can doubt them. I can doubt what they told me. When I had problems, they couldn't solve my problems. Therefore, I doubt their understanding of the Dharma. But the Dharma Master YongHua taught is so beautiful. And he is so beautiful. He himself personifies that Dharma. I don't doubt that at all. That's my saving grace. I never doubted my master. I didn't like him, but I never doubted him. I resent him. I said, why are you so mean? Where is your compassion? Does it help? Did I answer your question, sir? It's a good question. This guy keeps on pushing his limits.
I kind of see that more like not to have a doubt. I think the question is coming from the doubting mind. I kind of understand this is a process. I have to allow it to unfold and just have a more trust.
I'm sorry? What's that?
I'm saying that I shouldn't be approaching it more with a doubting mind. I think that question comes from a doubting mind to figure out how all this reality exists, you know.
How what?
How this Buddha nature or like this self nature that is it like something that exists at a subatomic level, you know? Like
the Tao?
Physics is trying to figure out. So I'm kind of going more scientifically thinking about it. Is that like a field of Buddhist energy or like Buddha energy present?
I don't understand the question. We all naturally doubt. We doubt. That's what we do. We smart people, we doubt. Are you for real? Is this for real? Okay, that's a natural thing. It's a human nature. It's a nature of stupidity or the nature of lack of wisdom. When you lack wisdom, because here's what happened. When you lack wisdom, it's not about doubt. Doubt is natural. When you lack wisdom, okay, that's when you doubt the sages. That's the difference. Okay? Doubt is normal. We should doubt. Okay? Having doubt is very human. But don't doubt the sages' teachings. That's the only distinction. Okay? So Master YongHua spent his entire life, he didn't have that privilege of reading about his story, his biography, and listening to his disciples talking adoringly about him, and so forth. I have that privilege. So I have no doubt about him as a human being, as a teacher. And I love the teaching. It's so beautiful. I never saw that kind of teaching before, that kind of person before. Okay? I never doubted him or the teaching, only doubted the rest. Okay? All right. Thank you. Yes, JMT.
네. 일단 뭐 선지식에 대한 의심을 하는 건 지혜가 없는 일이라고 하셨는데 뭐 일반적으로 우리가 주변을 보면 부모님 훌륭해도 망나니 자식이 있을 수 있잖아요. 그러니까 부모님과 그런 자식들을 별개로 놓고 좀 생각을 했었던 거고요. 일단 코멘트는 이거고요, 세라님.
So I'd like to make a comment about a good knowing advisor. If you doubt the good knowing advisors, there'll be no wisdom. But I want to show an example. Although there's a great parent, sometimes their children are in mess. And she will continue.
그리고 이제 오늘 질문은 그 선화상님께서 5개를 없애라고 하셨는데 나머지 4개는 좀 어떻게 해볼 수 있다 좀 감이 오는데 어리석음을 어떻게 없앨 수 있는지 그것이 질문입니다.
So I have a question, Master. Great Master Shenhua talk about these 5 things. I think I can manage it 4 out of 5, but I have a question about one thing I don't know how to start with. That's the stupidity.
Okay. Ask. Is there a question?
그러니까
Hello, everyone. Okay, Master, so she said she could manage it. She thinks she could manage 4 out of 5, but the part that she just don't know where to start is the stupidity. So she wants to hear more explanation from you.
About managing stupidity?
Yes. Where does she start?
Where do I begin? You know, Ryan O'Neill just died, recently. Never mind. Oh, God, you guys. How about stupidity? You're doing it well. See, it's very difficult to spin me down. You're doing very well. Look at how less stupid you are. Agree or disagree?
그냥 이렇게 너무 나름대로 이렇게 나름대로 이렇게 나름대로 여러 가지 상황을 고려해서 많은 사람들한테 두루두루 이득이 되게끔 하려고는 하는데 너무 부족한 게 많아가지고 좀 많이 어리석다고 생각이 들거든요. 그래서 어리석음을 어떻게 없애는지를 질문한 거예요.
So I'm looking at many situations and I try my best to benefit others, but I still feel shortcoming on that. So because I'm not able to help others because I'm stupid. So how can I get rid of this stupidity? Thank you.
Help more people. That's how you got there so far. You got there because you help more people. As you continue, you'll be able to be less stupid. You're building momentum already. Remember how stupid you were when you first came to WMT? Were you able to talk like this 5 years ago? 3 years ago? No. So whatever you're doing, continue. Do more of it. That's how you become less stupid, because you are less stupid in a good way. Doesn't sound right. You are less stupid. It's a compliment? Yeah, it is. Even the Koreans are laughing. They're enjoying this. Look at this. Xianro Sinim. She's really enjoying this. Stop picking on Jumi. I like her. I don't care what you guys say. She's doing well. Do more, okay? You help more, you study more, you naturally will be less stupid, because you've been building momentum already. Okay? Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Wei Mountain.
Thank you, Master. So, how do you teach people when they have doubts? It must be incredibly challenging to teach them.
You doubt because you don't have enough blessings. I explained to you, to Murali and all of you, my process of dealing with doubt is that because I quoted all those facts. Actually, the bottom line is that I know Master YongHua longer than his disciples. So it's nothing new to me. Whatever he said he taught his disciples, I know that already. Understand? So I don't doubt because I heard it before. That's why. So bottom line, blessings. It's my blessings that helped. Even though, there's so much contradiction with the teachings and the end results, I can ignore the end results. This is not his. It's not him. And I am grateful for that, because I'm going to do it differently so that they don't fall into the same trap. You don't fall into the same trap. Okay? Yeah. So I'm less pleasant. Okay? Master YongHua is a beautiful person, let me tell you. I adore him. I really worship him, adore him. All the limited times I know him, I met him, spent with him, I really adore this great man. Okay? I'm nothing like him, let me tell you. I'm a lot more unpleasant, brutish, coarse, you name it. Okay? So, accrue blessings. It's a matter of blessings. You have the blessings, no one can touch you. No one. Because I have the blessings with him already. So no one can change my mind. Yes, go ahead. We have a couple more places I have questions. YouTube question.
Thank you, Master. We have a question here from Robin's Nest. Emitofuo, Master. I'm not entirely sure how to best phrase this question, but how does one draw a distinction between someone who is giving false or incorrect teaching and having doubt? For example, Hinayana.
You stick to the sages.
An example I can give is people will often say, the Buddha never said anything about vegetarianism, but in various sutras, like the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, the Buddha most certainly did.
It's not just her, but I heard it from Master YongHua's own senior disciples telling me about their understanding of the Master's teaching. Not just anyone. We're talking about the ones that are supposed to teach me, are supposed to be enlightened, so forth. Okay? And so, as compared to Robin's Nest, who only read it online or listened to someone else, we're talking about these high-powered individuals. Okay? And And for her case, I would stick to the patriarchs. And yeah, I would stick to Mahayana. I would stick to the English translations of DRBA. That's a true Dharma there. That's a proper Dharma. Okay? And if anything that's in contradiction to it, ignore it. Okay? Including me. If I contradict that, don't believe me. Because he's a patriarch. I'm no patriarch. Don't be stupid. Okay? I'm having my fun, and if I disagree with Master Shenhua, don't have to believe me. Believe in him first. Okay? All right. Any other YouTube things? You done? Okay. JC.
지금 말씀드리면 될까요? 네, 아미타불 마스터. 최근에 어떤 경전을 알게 되었는데 그 책을 읽어보니 이 경을 읽으면 모든 경전을 읽은 것과 같다라는 내용이 있었습니다. 그 경전의 제목이 천지파량 신주경이라는 경전이었습니다. 계속 질문할까요? 네, 그런데 제가 이 경전에 대해서 인터넷에서 사실 좀 서치를 하게 됐는데, 그러니까 좀 찾아봤는데 인터넷에는 이 경전이 위경이다라는 그런 논란이 있다라는 언급이 있었습니다. 그래서 굉장히 당황하게 됐습니다. 왜냐하면 불교 경전인데 어떻게 위경이 있을 수 있는지 그게 굉장히 의아했습니다. 네, 그래서 이 경전은 도교적인 경전이고 부처님의 직접적인 말씀은 아니었다라는 그런 말을 하는 분들이 있는 것 같았습니다.
네, 경전
천지파량 신주경이라는 경전이었습니다.
네. Master, recently I was able to read a book and then reading about this sutra. And I'm not really sure personally what is the name of this sutra. She just told me, but I don't know what it is. I'll be able to research and let you know. Okay, I know what it is. Okay, I'm going to try to translate. Heaven and earth, 8 kings, and heavenly mantra sutra or something like that. And then she said she read this book, and I read from other sources saying that this book is not actually the Buddha's words. And I couldn't understand why the Buddhist sutra can be something not spoken by the Buddha. And they say this particular sutra belong to Taoism.
Yeah, yeah, they talk about heavenly thing. Yes, okay, it's commonplace. I have a similar experience myself. At the Buddhist temples, we have people coming to the temple and dropping books and booklets and stuff for us. That's from heavenly things or one yin things and so forth. So you're not the only one, okay? It's a very commonplace, very simple. Stop wasting your time. You're very busy, okay? You have a lot of important things to do, especially take care of your business, take care of your family, okay? And so it's good that you are reading these things, you have an interest, but stop wasting time going to these junk information. I would, if I were you, I would only go and read the Master Shenhua's Korean translations. You run out of things to read from him, read it over again 40 times. By then you should be dead already. Okay? And believe me, the more you read, the more you get it. Trust me, okay? Instead of wasting time reading about all these heavenly things and so forth, you have to be careful. You're old enough, right? You don't look like a young girl anymore. And you should know better. You cannot just read any junk or believe anything anyone tells you. Okay? I look at people first. I say, who are you to tell me these things? You have no credentials, and I will not waste time looking into what you have to say. Make sense? Just because they call it Buddhist, whatever, it doesn't matter. You have to be careful and only read the proper Dharma, okay? Meaning go to the source. Don't just pick up anything. All right? Good luck to you. And finally, we have a question here and we have to go. No more questions, please. Yes, two.
Emitofuo, Master. So I recently discovered that my grandma, she used to like reciting the rosary beads. So now that I'm going to go to Spain, I want to encourage her to recite them. Would it be fine if I recite with her?
Who are we talking about?
My grandma, my grandmother.
My grandmother, your grandmother. Yeah, sure. You should. You're going to Spain when?
On Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if she can recite, that's a good thing. Okay. I would. Is she in good health?
No.
She's not in good health?
No.
Then recite Medicine Master Buddha's name.
Okay. While she recites the rosary beads?
Is there? Yeah, she can do that. Is there a Spanish translation with it? Yao Shi Ru Lai. Is there a thing?
Maybe Maestro del Buda de la Medicina.
Hey, S2. What happened to him? Teach me. Can we have a punchy phrase like in Chinese, in Spanish, or no? Okay. I think your disease is spreading.
Hello, Master. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't hear on the right ear either. Yeah, is there a thing that we have in Spanish?
And if we recite Medicine Master Buddha in Spanish, I would use the Sanskrit name like Amitabha. I would say Namo Buddha Kshobhya. Because normally in the translation are used the Sanskrit names.
So use the Sanskrit name in Spanish. When you translate that, use Sanskrit for translation.
Yes.
So into Spanish.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that works. How does it sound like?
But the problem is that she has Alzheimer's, so she won't remember. So that's why I want to recite something that she knows.
How about getting her some sort of recordings and she can play? Huh? Would help. Okay. So now you get those nice Taiwanese recordings, you know? Emitofuo, and all these musical instruments and orchestras. She might enjoy that. So you try let her try different things.
Okay.
Just play it for her.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Master.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you, everyone. Good night.